The Supreme Court ruled the Affordable Care Act constitutional in pretty much every particular. 5-4 was a number we expected, but we didn't expect it to go this way. If you had heard 5-4, you would have thought that one of two things had happened. Either there had been 5 conservatives, Roberts and Kennedy included among them, who had voted to overturn the act, or you'd have thought there had been 4 liberals and Justice Kennedy voting to sustain it. In fact, Kennedy voted with the conservatives. He voted, in fact, all the way conservative. He said that if it were up to them, they would have overturned not just the mandate, but the entire bill. It was Chief Justice John Roberts who joined the liberals to make this opinion work for the Affordable Care Act. But what he did, I think, is being somewhat misinterpreted. It's not simply that he said, go for it, Obama administration, go for it, Democrats. As one law professor, Kilreed Amar, put it to me, this was really a 4-1-4 opinion. There were 4 liberals who said the Affordable Care Act is clearly constitutional under the traditional ways that this type of thing would be justified. Roberts said that isn't true. He actually said that he disagreed the mandate could be justified on Commerce Clause grounds. That is a narrowing to some degree of the traditional scope of action for the federal government. What he said is a mandate itself, this particular kind of penalty, is justified because really what it is a tax, and the Constitution gives the federal government a fairly broad power to tax. Now, that might mean that conservatives in a way have lost this particular battle, but have scored a point in a larger legal constitutional war about how federal power should be seen by the Supreme Court. In addition to that, Roberts and the conservatives on the court also argued that the administration that the federal government could not tell a state that they had to participate in a new Medicaid program or lose all of their previous funding on Medicaid. That's a stick that the federal government was going to use to force states to help them insure people beneath 133% of the poverty line. It should be expected states will probably still participate because they're getting a lot of money, but some more conservative ones might pull out now. And what the court said is if they do pull out, yes, the federal government can withhold the money for this program from them, but it can't take away all their Medicaid money more generally, which means there's a lower bar to pulling out, which could mean that you have a significantly fewer number of people covered if a state like Texas, for instance, pulled out of the Medicaid program or pulled out of the expansion of the Medicaid program. So all in all, it's clearly a win for the Affordable Care Act. It's clearly better than the alternative in which the mandate was struck down for the Obama administration. But in terms of the long-term legal consequences in the kind of long-running debate we have in this country over the proper scope of federal power, it's not at all clear to me that conservatives have lost as much here as they might think they have.